Hi folks, and welcome to week number 4. So this week we're going to finish Essay 1, and we're going to continue thinking about how research is done. We're going to start Essay 2, which is to analyze a couple of research articles. Now I'm going to note, I'll introduce Essay 2 next week in week 5, so don't freak out that you've missed something. This week, by Monday, I want you to finish Essay number 1. Okay, so watch the week 4 video, you're doing that right now. Watch the essay structure video, sort of talk about how we move away from the 5-paragraph essay into something more complicated and more responsive to our readers' needs. Okay, so there's a quick video on that. Okay, so this first half of the week is all about finishing up essay number 1. For Thursday, next week, Thursday, September 14th, I want you to complete the Essay 1 reflection. I'll show you this in a second. This is a document we're going to use over the course of the semester. Okay? Then I'm going to have you read 2 scholarly articles, both of which are on the impact of artificial sweeteners, diet soda, ultimately, actually, is what we're focused on here, and weight. Okay? 2 scholarly articles. Those 2 scholarly articles disagree with each other. I'll talk about that in a minute. I want you to write your annotations of Peters and Fowler, and then begin the research discussion round number 2. Now, let's go ahead and go take a look at this in depth. All right, so through here, this is all Essay 1 stuff, pretty self-explanatory, I think. This video you're watching right now, the essay structure video, and then, of course, the final draft of Essay 1. Remember that the sample Essay 1 is in week 3, and the assignment is back in week 2 if you need to go back and refresh your memory. All right, from there, we're going to do a handful of different things. One of these. So first thing, the Essay 1 reflection. You've got 2 things here. Number 1 is a link. It's a template, and then here's a place to submit it. Now, if you click this link, just like with the template we used last week for Essay 1 prep, it'll ask you to put a copy in your Google Drive. The document that it'll put in your Google Drive will look like this. It's called the 102 Game Plan document. Yes, I'm calling it the Essay 1 reflection here. I'm doing that because I'm going to have you turn this document in a bunch of times over the course of the semester, simply adding to it. Okay? Now, good things about that, it's the easiest way possible to get homework points. You do it, you get credit for it. Okay? So it's an easy way to earn some homework points. This document, it's got a column for strengths and a column for weaknesses. I actually want you to fill those in. Looking back over Essay 1, what do you think you did well on? What do you think you did poorly on? Strengths and weaknesses. That's all I need you to fill out right now, okay? I'm going to have you come down and do the rest of these pieces, okay? The game plan next week after you get some feedback on this essay, and the Essay 1 actual reflection part, reflecting on how you did on that essay next week. The first thing I want you to do, what's your immediate impulse about what you did well and didn't do well? So all you need to do, fill out the top 2 portions of this document for this week, and then submit it to that file. If we come back here, you'll see this, again, is that link to the template. And again, just the top 2 sections, all you need to worry about right now, and then you submit it right here, the Essay 1 reflection folder, okay? Very simple activity here. My goal over the course of the semester with this document is for us to sort of build a list of things we need to work on and how to go about working on those things. One of the things I've always noticed as a teacher is, of course, if the student doesn't understand where they do well and where they struggle, they don't really know how to focus their attention. So often I will say, oh, this sentence is wordy, for example. And my students generally just are like, okay, cool, I'll delete it then. Well, we need to know what wordy is, we need to know how to fix wordy things, and then we can actually fix the sentence rather than getting rid of it. If you are struggling with some particular aspect of writing, it doesn't make sense to throw your papers out and start over and just try again. It makes sense to focus in on the thing we need to focus on, okay? And that's what this document's designed to help us do, is sort of catalog and keep an eye on the things that we struggle with and are strong at, okay? So that's that document. Then, in week 4, readings and annotations. Again, as I suggested, 2 articles here, both scholarly studies. They will take a little bit of work, just fair warning. Okay? Peters and Fowler, 2 different scholarly articles on diet soda. Okay? Now, It's particularly interesting because both of them look at the relationship between diet soda consumption and weight gain or weight loss, and they come to different conclusions. Okay, one says that people who drink diet soda lost weight at a higher rate than those who didn't. The other says that those who drank diet soda tended to gain more weight over time. That's an interesting conundrum, okay? One of the things we learned with SA2, of course, is that, SA1, is that scholarly studies tend to be better than the popular articles that talk about them. Why? They're more detailed, the scholars understand the nuance a little bit better, lots of different things. However, what do we do if our scholarly studies don't offer us a clear picture? And that's really going to be the focus of our next research discussion. Now, I want to be really clear about this. I've got the research question here. I don't need anyone to go in and do anything on the research discussion board until next week. So, your group, this is the same group that you used last week. I'll show you this in just a second, okay? Should contain, actually, probably closer to 10 students, 6 to 10, sort of depending on your group size, okay? As a group, I want you guys to have a discussion in which you attempt to answer the question, why do Fowler and Peters reach different conclusions? Why do these two scholars who do research, who theoretically are trying to do their best to come to the right answer, how do they get different answers? Why? Right? This isn't about opinion, it's about a study, and why do their studies show different things? Okay, so what you'll see here is first, head to your group's Google Doc and start there. Okay, so let's take a look at this real quick. What I need you to do is to go back up to this link, the group Google folder for discussion. If you click that link, you should get to this folder in Google Drive. You'll see it's English 102 IN FA 23. This folder is just shared to be visible to anyone who has the link, so everyone should be able to open this without a problem. From here, you need to select your group. Now, you did your discussion last week, and you had a group number as part of that, okay? I want you to go back, check to see what your group number was. You're in the same number group with the same people this week. If you click on the folder for your group and it doesn't open, okay, I'm going to click it open for me because I've got access to everything. But if it doesn't open, there are a couple things you need to check out. Okay, thing number one is you have to make sure you're checked into signed into and utilizing your Prairie State account. If you're not using your Prairie State Gmail account, but maybe a personal Gmail account, it's not going to let you in because you don't have permission. Okay, so come up here, come here. If you've got other accounts, those will show up. Your Prairie State account should show up there. If it doesn't, add it, log in, and you should be able to get access once you're logged into Prairie State. The other possibility is that you're trying to get into the wrong group, okay? If, for some reason, the group you think you're in you can't get into, check all 4 folders, see if one of them lets you in. If one of them lets you in, you are probably just mistaken about which group you are in. If you check all 4, you know you're logged into Prairie State and you can't get in, let me know and I will see what I can do to help expedite, okay? Once you go in there, there is a document in here. And this is what we're going to work on this week for the discussion. So we're going to try to answer that question. Why do they disagree? But we're going to do it in sort of a structured and organized way. So presuming everything is worked out right here, this document will be shared with everybody in your group. That's going to be you and everybody else. If you get in here and you don't see anything in here other than this, it's because no one in your group has put anything in yet, okay? You're not going to get to it and then just see a document that is only you have access to or anything. It's your group's document. All right. What you're going to see, this is sort of a way to think about evaluating sources. So what I did here was put the 2 articles that you're reading for this week at the top, and then beneath it, I want you to think about these different categories. We're going to use this with a document with SA2 as well. So number 1, currency. Okay, you might find a really good, perfect scholarly article, but if it happened 20 years ago and things have changed since then, it might not be useful. So is this data still current? And are these two bits of data similar to each other? I'll give you a great example of this. Both these are actually, one's from 2014, one's from 2015. But if one of them looked at research from like 20 years prior, there were different artificial sweeteners on the market. We might say, given the fact that there are different artificial sweeteners, this data might not be comparable to each other because they're looking at different things. And then authority here. Who are the scholars who worked on this study? What do we know about them? Great opportunity for a quick Google search, okay? Are they experts in the field? Do they have any conflicts of interest? Is there anything that would make us suspect they're not doing good research here? I had a student a few years ago doing some work on ethanol and the impact of ethanol production on climate change. We found out that the scholar who was working on it was actually a biologist whose background's in soil science. So they're sort of related, but they're definitely not a climate change expert. Okay? So that might make us question the accuracy of the information. Then, the study population study design. How was the study designed? Who was included in the study? How did those people get identified? What different ways were they measuring the variables to try to understand the impact of the diet soda on weight loss? Do we think there's any reason for bias here? And ultimately, what do we think the reason for publishing this was? Was there a reason other than simply trying to answer this question and trying to add more knowledge to the world? Could we see a reason for this? And then finally, what did we learn from this source? If we would try to put this in the simplest terms possible, what did we learn from this source? Now, okay, so this document, 6 to 10 of you will be working on this together. What I want everyone to just add comments. Feel free. You can just go ahead and get started in this document and add a few boxes worth of stuff. If you want to communicate with your group mates, anytime you're in a shared document, you can go to File, you can go to Email, Collaborators. It'll pop up a new box. This happens to be Group 1, so you guys, if you're in Group 1, you will see your names here. It'll email everyone in here. So you can say, hey, friends, I did this, just to give you the heads up. Can everyone else pop in and do this over the next few days or whatever, right? This is an opportunity for you guys as a group to kind of communicate amongst yourselves how you want to kind of approach this. We have 1 week to work on completing this document, and we'll actually start the discussion part of this next week. Okay, that's everything we've got for this week. If you've got any questions, as always, don't hesitate to let me know. I'm here to help.